I don't know what take this is. I had to write it down this time. I always seem to forget something. Hopefully I won't forget anything. I'll try to make it as concise as possible. Good try, Cheryl. Let's go. Tonight was play rehearsal, supposed to be at 5:45. And today I'm trying to memorize my lines. They're very odd. And they don't seem to make a whole lot of rhyme or reason. Everyone else has lines like, let's not do this, okay, like normal speak. Mine is when I rise up, the first time I say, I hate everything in the world, but most of all I hate cold cream, hot dogs, codfish, crawfish, catfish, catnip, sheep dip, sawdust, subways, sewers, skewers, buttermilk, caterpillars, frictions, fractions, pins, puns, pens, policemen, and electricity. That's the first one. I have 4 speeches like that. How the hell do you remember all that stuff in that order? The director said, you may think you can just sneak in some words and stuff, but no, I want it like the script. Shit. So I woke up from the Brian had gone to get Spencer. He was off today. He'd gone to get Spencer from school, and they came home, and I ate my supper, and as soon as I finished, I heard a knock on the door. It was Spencer. He says, you want to try some fudge we brought back from Canada? And I said, okay. So I went over there and tried it. Baby liked it. And they were both, we're eating off the same piece of fudge and all that. And then Brian goes, well, I better wipe your face, get rid of all the evidence. And when he said that, I knew they weren't supposed to have it. I'm thinking, I'm an accomplice at this. This is not good. Why you sucker me into this this bad thing we're doing here? So he asked Spencer what he wanted for supper. Spencer said, like mac and cheese and fish fillet, which is like a giant fish stick. So Brian started working on that. Spencer was wiggling around, and Brian said, oh, you gotta go potty? No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. I said, well, I have to go potty, and Brian volunteered in my bathroom first. And then I said, well, I have to go potty. Let's go. And the door has a doorknob cover that you have to know how to open the door to be able to come in. And little kids, it's hard for a little kid to do it. So I had to open the door, and he comes over here, and baby starts walking behind us like he wanted to come too. But the door closed. I went to the bathroom right away, and Spencer came in here, and he started playing with stuff. Gathering cat toys and kid toys, and I have a self-affirmation pickle. And you push a button and it tells you how, what. It's not the destination, it's the journey, and I think you're doing well. Stuff like that. It has like 100 different sayings. And he says, well, where's your yodeling pickle? I said, I don't have one. Why not? I said, because the yodeling pickle only has 10 seconds of a yodel, and it's the same one. This one has many more things that it says. Now, if I look and I can find one that yodels different stuff, even if it's not a pickle, if it's a little doll or something, I'll get it. But I don't have one. And I kept putting my eye on the time, and I went to the door to open it, and Spencer came running up behind me and shoved the door shut. By then, the baby was at the door, and I went to open the door again, and Spencer went to shove the door, and his brother was there, and I said, no, wait. So Sebastian came in. Sebastian's about 1.5 years. And Spencer will be 4 in about 1.5 months, something like that. He's getting close to 4. Our play goes up August 8th. Yep, we have 1 month. Oh, yeah. But the baby comes in and he's petting the kitty cat. And the kitty cat knows that he's a good a good child. So he's letting the baby pet him. And, of course, Spencer wants to get into everything. And it doesn't matter. There's nothing in here. By the time he leaves, this place looks like a tornado hit it. And then Brian had to come over and help Spencer back. And I picked up the baby. And he was crying. He wanted to stay here. And Spencer wanted to stay here. And if I didn't have play rehearsal, I wouldn't have minded it. I could have handled it. But I had play rehearsal. I kept looking at the time. And I had to leave by 25 after. And it was already a quarter after, 20 after. And I'm thinking, shit, I have 5 minutes. Where am I now? Okay. The baby was dribbling the beach ball around like a soccer ball. Like, bend it like Beckham. He was doing that all around the place. And it got really quiet. And anyone around little kids, has kids, grandkids, or knows little kids, when it gets really quiet, that's when you gotta watch out, because they're up to no good. And they know it. They know they're up to something they shouldn't be doing. There was Spencer hiding under the table. He had aloe vera gel all over his upper body, and he was all shiny. And he was putting on SPF 50, which is basically zinc oxide, on his legs. His legs were white. And he got some on the floor. And I said, "Oh, Spencer, what are you doing?" So I pulled him out and was wiping him off, wiping the stuff off his legs. He goes, "We got some on the floor, too." So I got wiping all that down, and I have like 2 minutes left to go before I had to leave out the driveway. And he started coloring his little book, and the baby was kicking the beach ball around. And by this time, another 10, it's like time has gone, and I'm supposed to have already been on the road. So I sent a group message on my phone when I was in the car that I will be running late. It's a group message, the director, the assistant director, and all the actors in the play, that I'll be late. And, okay. So I'm driving like a madman, trying to get here, trying to get to rehearsal. Oh, Spencer said he wanted to go with me, and I told him it was boring. You wouldn't like it, it's boring, okay? That's part of my story here. So I drove like a madman, and it seemed like all the people in front of me were either trying to block my way, like, let me ride next to this truck and never pass him, or this person behind me looks like they're in a hurry, so I'm going to slow down and shove the brakes on every 10 feet. Or I'm going to pedal. I'm going to take just turn the engine off and pedal with my feet. It's like, oh my God. By the time I got there, I was just about nuts. So at rehearsal, I took 20 seconds film of boring, how boring it was. And I sent it to Brian on message, or I thought it was Brian. No. The phone message thing was in the last, the mode was in the last message I sent out, which was to the group. And I did not know that until I received a return message with a little heart saying, "Oh, isn't that sweet?" And I thought, who is this? And I thought, oh, shit, it's one of the actors. And, let's see, 3 people couldn't make it tonight. So the assistant director was trying to read 2 different parts, or 3 different parts. There's a buzzer we're supposed to have, because the people that lives in this institution hear a buzzer, and they know they're supposed to get up and go outside for outside time, or it's time for bed, or time for dinner. But we don't have a buzzer, and nobody's sitting there going buzz or anything. So it's really kind of hard to really get into everything if there's no external stuff that's supposed to be happening. So I don't even know if I sent it to Brian or not. Because my brain just had it. It's like, no, I'm not going to even bother. Not going to look. I don't care. I don't think I sent it to Brian. So I'll have to, I don't know. I erased it, so I can't show it to Spence now, but he would have been bored. So I get home and had a couple donuts, some tea, and I turned on the YouTube and was watching Naughty Nana Does. She's a comedian up there in Ontario, Canada, and she talks about politics and stuff that's going on in this country because she has different news sources than we do. And she looks up all of them, and then she wants to let us know what's going on. She has relatives in the States as well. And I have my son up in Saskatoon. She'll tell the Canadian political stuff that's going on too, which is nice for me to know because that way I know if there's anything going to be affecting my son. And she was talking about Alligator Alcatraz. Trump's been really quiet lately. And just like Spencer under the table, that means he's up to something. He's like a big 3-year-old. So they're at a Air Force base down in the Everglades area of Florida, which is big swampy ground. It's really not fit for anything except alligators and snakes, and that's what's there. And it rains a lot, and it's windy, and it's affected by hurricanes and everything that area has to offer. Well, they quickly, $450 million? I don't remember how much. An ungodly amount of money. Probably taken from FEMA or some other agency or something to build this detention center, Stalag. Big canvas tents, big bivouacs with cages inside, and that 300 beds, and they're going to put 200 more in by the weekend, and they're going to build another one to put these people that are being detained before they're deported, or people, not necessarily foreigners, but people that the government doesn't like, you or I'd probably be more likely to be put down there than you, because of the way I think about stuff, that I'm involved in theater, that I ask questions, I don't blindly follow. It'd be me in those cages and in those canvas tents. And it's surrounded by gators and poisonous snakes, with one road in and one road out. And if they block it off and guard it, you can't get out of there. And with the winds coming in and the hurricane season starting, it's going to be worse than hell. What's wrong with these people? And there are people that are out there that are Trumpsters or other supporters like that are cheering it on. Wait till they find out that they could be targeted as well. Whatever, they can come up with whatever reason they want. And there's nothing you can do about it. And I used to wonder how the hell that shit happened in Nazi Germany and all that. This is exactly how it happened. And people don't know what to do. Like I said before, it's like being married to an abusive person. You know it's not right, but you don't know what to do about it. Some of these people like what's going on. They think that it's going to make things better for them in the long run. People like my brother. People that don't make even as much money as my brother or anything. There are people that believe in these promises. And it's not going to happen. So I think that's horrible. They have cameras all over the place. Next thing you know, it's going to be pay-per-view on cable to watch people trying to run and being stung, bitten, and devoured by crocodiles and alligators and stuff. That's sick. This dystopia is sick. And even though I didn't get along with my mom, I'm glad she died before all this COVID and all this other sickness. And my brother Richard, I'm glad he went before all this sickness. And my late boyfriend, even though I was just one of his women. But when I was with him, I was in heaven. And we were like soulmates. We had so much in common, and we knew what each other was thinking even. And that's very unusual. And, yeah, I miss him like hell still. But he had leukemia, blood cancer. He had spent like almost 10 years of his life going back and forth from here to Italy, buying the visa to come back, coming in with immigration lawyer and everything. He had to spend so much time out of the country and so much time in the country while all this process was going on money, and he was so close to becoming a citizen or trying to become a citizen when he got leukemia. This kind of crap, I don't think he'd like it. Because, with a bit of an accent still after all those years, could it be put in those camps? Like I said before, it doesn't matter. You could be the whitest of white. If there's something they don't like about you, you're on your way. Me? I'd probably be there before you, because I'm sure they don't like me and my independent thinking. It's dystopia, all right. It's sickening. Makes you want to puke. And the big puke himself, orange-faced puke, he's been pretty quiet lately, so there's something going on. Just like Spencer under the table applying sun lotion and crap all over his legs. Got really quiet, There's something going on. And a lot of this crap that you hear about all the time, and that they point to each other and blame each other and all, that's all smokescreen. That's all trying to hide the fact that there's something going on behind the curtain. Yeah. Hope I can sleep tonight. I don't know. Well, take care of yourself. Elbows up, protect yourself. I love you guys. I'm glad you're there. Anyone has any really good suggestions on how I can memorize those bizarre lines? I'm listening. So, catch you later so we can go upwards and onwards together.